What is the worst tier 10 in World of Tanks Blitz? That is the question we're going to be breaking into for today's video. Now, I'm not going to be making any opinions. This is simply going to be a statistical video where in front of you, I have tier 10 tanks. And Blitz Analysis is a website that basically grabs information from the wargaming battles and just throws them into a spreadsheet so I can talk about them for the video. And we got the best performing tanks like the FE2-7 Badger, Object 268 version 4, E3, IS-4, you know, a bunch of vehicles you would expect to do pretty well, especially judging on the average player's skill level. But if we scroll all the way down to the lowest relative win rate, which is what we're going to be basing off of, it's surprisingly, well, actually not that surprising, the Leopard 1 is the worst performing vehicle. Now, I should point out that this is the worst performing vehicle overall. If we take a look at 0 to 45% players, the Leopard 1 is the worst by having, let's say if you're a 48%er, the Leopard 1 you're going to be performing 2% worsened, so you'll be 46%. But you will notice at 65% plus players, it's not the Leopard. In fact, it's the 183 at a 3.5% margin, where the Leopard 1 is sitting at around a 1.5%. Still not great. The Leopard is still not a very good performing vehicle for even skilled players, which is weird because I've actually always really done well in the Leopard. But yeah, it definitely showcases how different skill brackets have different performances. So you can see with 55% to 65%, the Leopard inches a little closer. And then if we go to 45 to 55, the Leopard will probably inch a little closer, yeah. So it's kind of weird, but yeah, the worst performing vehicles by far, when it comes to the lower skill level at least, are the medium vehicles. The Leopard 1, the STB, Object 140, 121B, Bosch Octeon 25 ton, Sheridan, T100 LT, all the mobile tanks, which makes sense because you need to understand where to position, how to use that mobility, are the worst performing vehicles. However, if we go up to like 65%ers on average, the 183 is the worst performing. We got another TD, the Grill 15. There's actually a lot of TDs, as you'll notice, but for lower win rate players, TDs are much scarcer to find. And I think that's the case because you don't really need to push into the front line with a TD, where you do need to do that if you are a medium or a light tank at that. So now that we know the Leopard 1 is the worst performing medium, why? Well, the first and very simple answer, as we talked about before, is mediums require more skill than your average type of vehicle. So if you don't understand how to position a medium, then you are out of luck and you shouldn't have grown down the line. But second of all, the Leopard 1 for some reason is very popular amongst lower win rate players. This is something I've always known. It's the same thing on World of Tanks PC. I think it's because people know the Panther as like a pretty cool tank in World War II, so they're like, yay, I want to grind the Panther in Blitz. But yeah, it really is a tank that is only good as long as you understand how to drive it. Now, you'll notice the gun is amazing. We are absolutely doming the heck out of this Progetto right now, and maybe, just maybe, there you go, another shell into his tank. We've already taken off over 1,000 hit points from his vehicle, and all we got in return was a damaged viewfinder thing. I don't even know if it does anything when it's damaged, but oh well. We're pretty high and mighty this game so far. We got a 60 TP in mid. Let's see if we can deal with him, and boom, there you go, nice shot. I'll take it. It's 322 damage. And if the 60 is going to keep on crossing, there you go. Another nice shot. Even though we have a 360 alpha gun, we are low rolling a little bit, but that's all fine. You will notice the first problem with the Leopard, though, it has no armor. I mean, I was hoping that we would bounce that shell from the 60, but as I said, hoping. The Leopard does not have armor, so you will not bounce normally. Unfortunately, we did get hit by an HE there, and I mean, this STB is just flat out tunneling. Unfortunate. It would be really nice if one of my teammates, you know, shot him, but oh, we're not dead yet. We are not dead yet. And look at that. My team actually came in to help me. I know, impressive, right? And long live the YOLOing STB. We got a shell into the 4005. Even if we die, at this point, we've already dealt 3,500 damage. This is just a very easy example to showcase where the DPM on the Leopard is so freaking strong. I mean, it just absolutely ravages. 3,900 damage dealt now. We still have that 4005 sitting over here. Let's go for another tap. There you go. 409 into him. I mean, the gun is amazing, but definitely has its downsides, because we saw I got rushed and almost died. So you do got to be really, really careful about those kinds of things. We got the Progetto, who apparently we missed. I don't actually know how that missed, but it's all fine because the IS-7 is going to finish him off. That guy, I don't know what the heck the enemy team's doing. I'm going to be real. I think they're trying to tunnel me or something, but it's not going very well for them. There's a nice shot into the 60 TP. IS-7 unfortunately misses the shell, but that's all good because we're going to reload and get a finishing shot in as it is. Apart from that, we got a 4005 and a 113. I personally don't really want to fight the 113, but, well, let's aim it on his cheek and unfortunately bounce it. Let's put on our adrenaline and try this again. Yag, please don't block me. Okay, well, I'm going to use the Yag as cover if I have to. And reload. Let's go for one more shell. Never mind. Unfortunate. Looks like he just got angled up at the last moment there, but still, pretty good game. This was a fantastic battle to showcase the strengths and weaknesses of the Leopard. We got pretty lucky that we weren't killed there. Now, we also got pretty unlucky that the player in the STB was YOLOing us. I don't really know what the, as I said, thought process was from this player, but yeah, we still did pretty good for the situation we had. First class, 5,200 damage. What I will say is, if you're new to the game, you really just shouldn't grind this line. I know it's definitely down to opinion and personal preference. You can grind whatever you want, but what I'll tell you is that this will be your worst performing tank by far in tier 10, and you probably won't enjoy it either if you're constantly losing, because as we just showed, this is the worst performing vehicle. So why grind it first? I would definitely suggest, if you're new, grind a medium that's much more calm. Go for a 62A. It's got good gun depression, good DPM, decent mobility. Sure, it doesn't have the accuracy, as much mobility, but it's definitely a much more enjoyable experience if you just want to actually chill, win your games without stressing every single battle. But let's see. The enemy team this game has a 62A. They also have a TVP 5051. So they got two mobile vehicles. Now we do have a 4202 who's already spinning me out. I am chalking him off as not an amazing player from that move, but I guess we'll see. I'm just spotting right now, and weirdly enough, there's nobody here. And judging that they have two mediums, that means that they are not going to this side of the map. You would spot their mediums instantly, and there you go. There's the medium. Weird. I don't know why that, maybe that guy loaded in late, but oh well. I'll take the free damage, 340. I'm being careful, just in case, you know, they have a TD. They do have a Yag after all, so there's no point to play over-aggressive, especially when I'm the one with the least armor basically on the team. Even the Sheridan, I would say, is more armor because it's covered in spaced, where I don't even have that. So we're just going to chill here. They don't have any lights, and that's pretty nice. So I can just kind of wait on this hill, wait and see if the enemy team's going to get detected at all. Chilling, chilling. One thing to keep in mind about the Leopard, and the reason I think so many people do bad in it, is they play it aggressive. This isn't really an aggressive vehicle. Sure, it has DPM. Sure, it has mobility. It has all the things, but it doesn't have the capability to deal with an enemy tank that pushes it, you know? If you just bounce one shell, you have now less DPM than the enemy mediums. So it's good DPM, you know, it's really good, but DPM is only in a perspective good. If you can't actually use the effective DPM, then it's not going to matter. So that's why you're going to see me in the Leopard. I'm going to camp most of the time I play it. That way, I can just sit back here and farm the enemies. You know, there's already a decent chunk of damage. Unfortunately, we can't shoot that 62A. Oh, and the Yag just absolutely nuked somebody. But there you go. Nice shot into the enemy 62A again. And let's see, we got the IS-7 over here. Let's get a nice shell into him. We're already up to 1,800 damage. I mean, you can very easily see where this tank just absolutely rips into the enemy with how much damage it can deal. Now we have that 62A in mid, and that's the player I definitely want to try and clear right now. So I'm hoping that he continues backing up, and boom, there you go. No more 62A to deal with. Now we got like the IS-7. He jumped off. We are getting shot by 400, which means that would be the 57 heavy on the enemy team. And now is the time when I use that mobility. As I said, I play this like a mobile tank destroyer. So I'm going to use that mobility that the vehicle has and leave the spot I was at, because we clearly know that, well, it's not going to go super well if we stay there. Now, unfortunately, the rest of my team is bleeding a lot as well, which isn't, you know, great, but not much I can do about that. So, oh, that's really unfortunate. Let's try, I would say that again, but with that, well, you know what, there you go. We were able to get the shell out. Nice. IS-7 actually, for some reason, poked that, so we were able to get a nice 360 damage shot into his vehicle. There's the TVP, unfortunately, though. Was able to get a nice 407 tap, and you know what the ironic part is? We might actually just be able to, oh, well, that shell just went nowhere. We We got the TVP still back there, who I am going to keep an eye on, but for now, we're going to be shooting at this IS-7. Might as well. I've got the DPM to shoot into him, so there's one shell, and, well, we can't get another shell out, but it looks like that TVP is going to die, which is fantastic news for our team. IS-7 still sitting right up there, which means we can go for another shell. There you go. Nice 311 tap into his vehicle. Let's put on our adrenaline. Ah, that shell just went high. That's very sad, but that is how the game does work sometimes. Take a blind shot. Now, at this point, our team is, well, not very alive, which is definitely a bit of a bad thing, you know? But this is what you expect from Blitz teams, to be honest, is them to fall apart fairly quickly. So, do got to keep that in mind. Got to be very careful. Let's go for a shell. Ah, come on, Leopard. You let me down. That was such an important shot there. If that had hit, definitely could have helped out big time. So, we got the 57 off to the side over here. Let's aim at a shell on his vehicle. There you go. Nice 338 tap. Let's reload. 3, 2, 1, and badonk. There you go. Beautiful. Was able to finish off that vehicle. Unfortunately, we got the YAG. We still got the 4005 left, which is another whole bunch of tanks right there. And we also got shot by that guy. Come on. No! What? You're still hitting me? Man, we are getting absolutely rocked right now. All right, let's go for a shell. Perfect. Nice shell into the 4005, finishing him off, which means now all we have left is the 57 off to our side and the YAG. Okay, well, I'm just hoping that my teammate moves because I am stuck here, and that is really all there is to say. So let's get a shell into the side of that YAG Panzer. Nice shot as well, but my 4202 appears to be dead at this point, so... Yep, unfortunate. So, you can see the Leopard 1 is a very fun vehicle. It's a fantastic tank. Just not when you have a team that falls apart so quickly. Now, obviously, I poked that there, and I died, but I expected that as the base cap was up to 1,000. Now, if base cap wasn't up to 1,000, we could have possibly won that game. I would have definitely moved in, tried to clear the Leopard, or not the Leopard, the YAG, but we still did 6,000 damage. This is a great game to showcase, again, the strengths of the Leopard. I played it smart, stayed in the back, and that's what you should do. This is not a tank you should be frontlining in. And if you honestly believe you should be, you're incorrect. It's a tank that stays at the back, tries to deal as much damage as it can, and helps out kind of like a tank destroyer. Now, unfortunately, vehicles like our Sheridan only got one shell out, which really sucks, and the YAG Pants are the same thing. You know, one more shell, or just one shot on that side of the YAG could have won us the game. So, unfortunately, we didn't come out with the victory, but still showcased why the Leopard's amazing, and we would have definitely had a much harder time winning in almost any other medium in that same situation. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.